Continue that here in the fourth quarter. And if you're China, you have to find a way to get the ball out of his hands. I had mentioned maybe going to a box and one. If you're in man-to-man, you got to run a second defender at him, but make somebody else beat you here.
Now remember, Gilas and China met in the final of the 2015 Fiba Asia Cup final. China took the victory and thus qualified for the Rio Olympics.
Yeah, and sure enough, box and one here on this first possession for China. Almost got the steal there.
Well, now Ramos will pull up for a three-pointer. Can't get it. 22 points. China got to come back from. Can they do it in the next 9 minutes and 35 seconds? Lee Kai bumps, makes the contact. Now it's a 20-point ball game, and a good start here from China.
So you see Zhao Ri there picking up Clarkson full court. He's just going to be in a face-to-face denial while the other four players stay in that four-man zone, forming that box formation. Zhao Ri's job, don't let Clarkson touch the ball.
Well, Thompson stepping out of bounds. Again, the box and one just frustrated Gilas' offense here. You like this from Coach Sasha Djordjevic. I mean, he knows how to change his tactics mid-games and identify the weaknesses of his opponents.
Well, they needed to do this probably a little bit earlier, but had to come up with something that was going to cool off Clarkson.
Wu-Ming Xuan made some threes against Angola, and that is way short. That's going to be an air ball. Gilas now, coach, decided to go bigger, taking out Renzo Bondo, so having Clarkson, Thompson, and Dwight Ramos in the backcourt. AJ Edu in the power forward, Juma Fajardo. Can China battle here with their box and one defense? Fajardo fighting Clarkson. Back to the big man, bumping. He's got to go up with it, surely. And Juma finishing under the basket.
Yeah, Coach Djordjevic wanted to travel there. Good patience from Jumar, using his physicality to bully his way there for the basket.
Well, speaking of bullying his way to the basket, Lee Kai just taking St. Dwight to school. Clarkson getting aggressively bumped. And Clarkson, yeah, wasn't too happy with Zhao Ri's defense. Well, Zhao Ri doing the smart thing there, walking away from any altercation. Again, you like to see the respect there. Clarkson being the bigger player, but also Zhao Ri extending his hand as well.
Yeah, both players just getting tangled up there a little bit. Zhao Ri not afraid of these elite scorers. Sees a lot of them in the CBA.
Well, Juma getting the dump down. The assist coming from AJ Edu. Better passing from Gilas, but China needs to be compact on defense. Zhao Ri from 18 feet. Doesn't get the shot to drop. Wu-Ming Xuan now. Well, they wanted a backcourt violation. Another foul called again. Boxing one could be difficult because if they get the ball in the hands of Clarkson, he's able to draw that contact and put China into a bit more foul trouble.
Well, it's got to start with the denials. They're hoping to keep it out of his hands. When he does have it, one of those top two guys in the zone, they need to be there for help. Can't be left on an island to defend Clarkson on your own.
Trying to find Clarkson on the handoff. Almost penetrated against John Jolin. Contact. St. Dwight going to the free throw line. Third team foul against China here in the fourth quarter. 22-point lead to Gilas Filipinas.
Yeah, and if you're China, you have to stay compact behind it. Really the job of those other four, be there and help for any of the penetration. You got to hope Gilas misses from the outside right now. Maybe fuel your opportunities for transition points. But if you're China, this is a real struggle. They've had offensive issues this whole World Cup. Being down this much in the fourth quarter, they don't really have that dynamic guy that can score getting up and down. Lee Kai more of a methodical playmaker than a go-to scorer.
See, now you look at this game and you think finally the rotations, the substitutions for this Gilas team have been good, but now Jordan Clarkson leaving the game, so this could be a good passage for China. They've got to take advantage when he's on the bench.
Yeah, they've got to chip away at this thing right now.
Zhao Ri going to the basket, draws a foul, and that's much better. He'll go to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
Good take there from Jiaori, challenging Junmar. Be interesting to see if China goes to some full court pressure. We saw it in the first half when Clarkson came out of the game. A little bit of a struggle there for the Gilas offense.
Home crowd now trying to put off Jiaori. Again, you got to give a huge shout out to the Chinese fans in this building as well, showing their support together. Both countries, rich tradition and history with the beautiful game of basketball.
Yeah, well, these fans have been great tonight. Both sides for both teams. Really electric atmosphere here. Now just the traditional 2-3 zone.
Thompson goes into the floater, can't get it. Gets his own rebound. China failed to box out. AJ Edu tries a three-pointer. Gilas just need to try and survive here without Clarkson on the floor, but good defense by St. Dwight. Gilas have numbers. Look out below, and it's going to be an easy layup hit transition by Renzo Bondo.
Yeah, beautiful play there from Ramos, coming up with the steal, finding a Bondo ahead on the break.
Home crowd chanting defense. Zhang Jilin trying to use the size, finds Xu Mingxuan. Three is up, three is good in the corner. That's what China needed.
Well, that was a beautiful pass from Zhang Jilin, spun on the baseline, slung it to the quarter. Mingxuan able to knock down that three.
Kylan for a cross corner. Bondo's wide open in the corner. Soto bumps, ends up throwing it away. Bondo battling. Soto comes up, 1,000 spectators here at the Araneta Coliseum.
Yeah, and this has been a great crowd. Fans on their feet right now, loving what they're seeing from this Gilas team. And if you're China, you have to come up with some quick baskets here. Not really their style of play.
Kicking out here, Jiaori, pick a pop for three. Three is up, and it's good. That's what China needs, big plays like that, but now they need defensive stops.
Yeah, Spanish pick and roll there. Jiaori able to get open at the top of the key, and you see the full court pressure now. They've got to force some turnovers here.
Gilas breaking down the full court pressure. No need to rush this.
China back into a 2-3 zone. The issue with this, Gilas able to work the shot clock.
Well, Thompson just went in. China had their last donut, but nobody called box out as the PBA's MVP just went in for the offensive board.
Yeah, Thompson untouched there.
Foul is going to be called against Dwight Ramos. You see how Gilas have played today. If only had they found out their regular starting fives, the rotations the right way. Who knows, Coach? Maybe they could have defeated Dominican Republic. Maybe they could have got that victory against Angola. I mean, well, definitely there's belief in this team.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for them, they know they needed Clarkson to have that huge game for them to have a chance. Unfortunately for him, really hasn't happened outside of that first game until now.
Well, Hu Mingxuan for the mid-range, takes it, fires it. That's what China needs, but time is running out. 22-point ball game.
And you got to see some more trapping here from China. They got to try to force turnovers. You see like Li Qiar there.
Well, Clarkson, corner, takes it, rattles in and out. No offensive foul call, but it can't make the putback. But Kyrie the Dream, Kaiju, comes in to clean up. He now moves up. That's going to be 8 points here for Kai Soto. Nice play in the lane there by Hu Jin-cho. Now Gilas are going to call timeout with 3:39 to go. They lead this one by 22 points.
Yeah, really nice play there from Hu Jin-cho. We saw a lot of that from him in the game against Angola. But if you're China right now, this clock is your enemy. You got to find a way to force turnovers, get easy baskets.
Over, guys. AJ, this is not over. We gotta keep playing. We're switching off on the distance now. We're getting a little lazy. Don't, okay?
They're in a zone, so there is no matchup.
Yeah.
They're in a zone, so there's no matchup.
No, down here, yeah. Down here.
Whoever is in front of me is worse.
All right, that's what I'm saying. advantage in this matchup. That's why, when the ball is in the post, stay home. You might have a small guy, but you're coming off that zone. Okay, just come down and stay home. Okay, okay. On your 1-3-1 or on flow, when we reverse the ball here, make that on screen, and then go through that. Let's go, White. Come on. No turnovers. Press break. Press break. Everybody get back. Get low.
Okay, coach.
Let's go.
Go back to that third quarter where this man simply put on that Superman cape. China felt like they had the momentum.
Well, you saw it there, 24 points in the third quarter. Again, I'm curious to know if that's the all-time record at the FIBA World Cup. But Clarkson just blew this game wide open, had been tight throughout until that moment. Him igniting a 24-4 run with that scoring display.
Final 3 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Gilas in control of this. Thompson trying to hesitate. Finds AJ Edu. That's going to be a traveling violation. So a turnover there for Gilas.
Yeah, and that's on Scotty Thompson there. Bad pass down around the feet of Edu. And that's one of those possessions where Clarkson didn't touch the ball.
What's now or never here for China. It'd have to be every offense. Lee Kai with a fadeaway. Front iron, can't get it. Kaiju with a rebound. St. Dwight finding AJ Edu. Gilas, no need to rush anything. Time is on their side. Dwight hesitation. Tries to draw the contact, doesn't get it. Rebound has been secured as Hu Ming-Chuan gets ahead, and he's going to finish this one, cutting it down to a 20-point ball game.
Yeah, nice outlet pass there from Lee Kayar. Ming-Chuan able to get behind the defense there of Gilas.
Dwight coming off a ball screen. Finds Clarkson, but a foul has been committed. It's the final team foul for China to give here in the fourth quarter. Well, again, it's been a tough road for this team. China obviously with a great coach and a good technical staff with him as well, planning for the future. Qualified for the FIBA World Cup. The expectations are always going to be high in China. Right, Soto pump fakes. Well, probably should have gone for the three-pointer. 2:07 to go here.
I think if you're Coach Djordjevic, you're wondering why they weren't making those calls earlier in this game. There's nothing really going their way in this second half.
Well, Jao Ray now finding Lee Kaya, goes in the lane. Strong move there by the Minnesota Timberwolf. AJ Edu now looking to isolate. Trying to find Clarkson. Now we're into 10 on the shot clock. Clarkson isolated, going behind the back, and that's the fifth and final foul. So Clarkson will go to the charity stripe here for 2 shots.
And China, just no answers for Clarkson here in the second half. Saw him get on that roll in the third quarter. It really just changed the dynamic of this game.
Well, free throw wise here this evening, Gilas have only missed 5 free throws. China have only missed 2, but really it was just that third quarter where Jordan Clarkson went unconscious. Ultimately, you think of China's exit. It was that game against Venezuela in 2019 that prevented them from qualifying for the second round. You know, for them it was about finding their identity. Who is going to lead this pack to go forward? But same for Gilas, you know, 4 years of plan for this FIBA Basketball Cup. By the time you look back and think it was disappointing to only pick up 1 victory along the way.
Well, both teams in a little bit of a transition period. You know, on the weekend that Yi Jinlin announced his retirement, as you look at Coach Djordjevic there, you got to wonder, what does the future of this Chinese national team look like? You know, we've got Cui Yongxi on the court right now, just 20 years old. Li Kai'ar playing with the national team for the first time, but obviously disappointment for them and how they're going to finish this World Cup.
Well, it was a big monumental victory for them when they defeated Angola and started to raise the eyebrows that maybe China could, you know, monumentally sneak into that automatic qualification for the Olympics. Because at the moment, Lebanon currently leading here against Iran. Well, Japan's game also taking place currently today as well.
Yeah, a lot of different scenarios that can play out in terms of being that second place team that can qualify for the OQT tournament. I think right now the result of that Lebanon-Iran game is going to have a lot of significance in seeing who represents Asia at the OQTs next summer.
Kai looking for an isolation. Hangs up the end, doesn't get the ad one, but he will go to the free throw line. And of course, you're talking about the promise of this young man, Kai Soto, currently playing in Japan for the Hiroshima Dragonflies, but still a long ways to go for him.
Well, you can see the skill on display, able to go both to his left and right hand, can step out and knock in an open three, and at 7'3", the athleticism, just 21 years old, has had a little bit of a bumpy start to his professional career, but the talent is immense.
Well, free throw number one made by Kareem the Dream Soto. Makes them both. 10 points here for Kai, 5 rebounds so far. As Jordan Clarkson exits the game, getting a standing ovation from the home crowd. He finishes with 34 points.
Yeah, and that second half.
The Timberwolves, Li Kai'ar, Jordan Clarkson, the Utah Jazz, both rivals in the Western Conference. But again, a lot to think about for these two federations and their countries. Moving forward, the next step for them will be the 2025 Fiba Asia Cup. Of course, we'll have the qualifiers that will be on the way for those two teams. But Gilas, again, it's been a rough ride for them here in the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Finally, they can finish with a victory. And as you've heard, all the Gilas fans, they've said it all game long. 2 words, Laban Pilipinas. And the final word is Puso. First victory since 2014. That was led by Jimmy Alapag, Jason Castro, L.A. Tenorio, Jeff Chan, Chuma Fajardo, and Japa Aguilar were both a part of those squads. But now it's their first ever victory in 9 years at a FIBA Basketball World Cup. Congratulations to Gilas Pilipinas.
Yeah, and it was that man right there, the difference in this game. That incredible third quarter that we saw from him, clearly what propelled Gilas to this win.
Well, there are the stats. 9 3-pointers. They didn't hit a 3-pointer there in the fourth quarter. They hit 6 in the third. 1 coming from Renzabano and 5 coming back to back from Jordan Clarkson. He was unconscious.
Yeah, he really was.